House of Representatives and then a Senate seat were won by these guys without spending a dime, per se, without bribing anyone, without giving money to any voter. They skate through, only for them to end up filling the rank and file of APC. These two guys are the latest. See this one on the left? Is from Jos. Said he represents Jos North, Jos South. Right? His name is Alfred Ajang. Jos South, Jos East, Federal Constituency. Last week, the one on the right also jumped ship. These were the unknown faces that took advantage of the gullibility, the naivety of some of the young Nigerians. But today, they are APC, Egbekegbe member. I'm talking about the last, in the last 3 weeks, more than 7 Labour Party National Assembly members have jumped ship. And guess to where? To APC, Egbekegbe. That Jank guy is the latest, and according to him, it's because Tifnubu is doing a great job. That's why he had to go and join Tifnubu to help Tifnubu to fix Nigeria. Listen to this.
I need your attention, please. No, just your attention, please. Honorable George, are you okay? Honorable colleagues, I have a letter coming from our dear brother, Honorable Ajang Alfred Ilya, member representing Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency of Plateau State. Before I read this letter, honorable colleagues, please permit me to recognize our legendary brother, a very patriotic Nigerian, the former governor of Plateau State, former Minister of Information, and a current senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Honorable distinguished Lalon, who is here as a friend of the house again for the second time to come and appreciate us on this very historic day. Your Excellency, you are most welcome. And we hope this kind of visit will continue after the Christmas break. We'd want to see you for a final round in January to deliver so that Plateau will become completely green. Absolutely. As the DG that actually produced our president, the accolades and the achievements are too many to mention. Thank you, distinguished Senator. You are most welcome. Now to the letter from Honorable Ajang Alfred Ilya. His letter read, or the subject matter is defection from the Labour Party to the All Progressive Congress, APC. His letter reads, I hope this letter finds you in good health and high spirits. I write to formally inform you of my decision to defect from the Labour Party to the All Progressive Congress, APC, effective immediately. This decision was due to the crisis of leadership in the Labour Party, and though deeply personal, is one that I believe is in the best interest of my constituents and the broader objectives of national development. There are several key reasons behind my decision to make this significant political shift. One, alignment with national development agenda. Over time, I've closely observed the policies and direction of the APC, particularly under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. Order, please. Honorable colleagues, please can you allow us to finish reading his letter? The celebration can follow later, please. The APC's commitment Honorable Aswaju Ahmed Tinubu, point of correction, please. Alignment with national development over time, I've closely observed. The mistake, please, honorable colleagues, is from him, not from me. I read what is in his letter. So please, your letter, you need to correct it. You put Muhammadu Buhari instead of Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So please, correct it. Particularly under the President Aswaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable colleagues,
APC.
honorable colleagues, his letter is correct. His letter is correct. Let me read the paragraph again.
Point of order.
What he said is alignment with the national development agenda. Over time, I've closely observed the policies and direction of the APC, particularly under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari and now under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The APC's commitment to infrastructural development, economic growth, and national unity resonates deeply with my vision for Plateau State and the country at large. I believe that by joining the ruling party, I'll be better positioned to contribute to the realization of these developmental goals and bring much needed support to my constituents. Effective representation for my constituents. As a representative of the Jos South and Jos East Federal Constituency, my primary responsibility is to ensure welfare and development of my people. In recent times, I have found it increasingly difficult to align with the Labour Party's approach to national issues, especially given its limited influence in the current government structure. I believe that joining the APC will provide me with the greater opportunities to secure federal support for projects that are crucial to the people of Plateau State, including improved healthcare, education, infrastructure, and security. Again, building bridges for a greater Plateau and Nigeria. By making this transition, I aim to play a more active role in fostering unity and collaboration across party lines. I believe that the APC's inclusive approach to governance will create opportunities for bridging divides and fostering greater cooperation in the pursuit of the common good. My decision is not based on personal gain, but on the desire to contribute to the national cause while advancing the needs of Plateau State. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I assure you that my decision to join the APC is motivated by the commitment
Point of order, Mr.
to the
Speaker.
welfare of my people, the development
Point of order,
of
Mr.
Plateau
Speaker.
State, and the future prosperity of Nigeria.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
I look forward to continuing
Speaker must
my
be heard in
work
silence.
the National Assembly as a member of the APC.
Point of order.
And I remain dedicated to advancing
Speaker must be heard in silence, please.
of Jos South and Jos East Federal Constituency. I thank you for your understanding and continued support. Yours faithfully, signed,
Speaker must be heard in silence, please.
Alfred Iliam. Honorable colleagues, it's my pleasure to present to you
Mr. Speaker, point of
the
order.
newest member of APC
Mr.
of the State
Speaker.
Assembly.
Point of order.
Honorable Ajana Alfred Iliam. Welcome.
Point
to the
of order,
Party
Mr.
in
Speaker.
Africa. I'll recognize your point of order after a while. Eh? Let us celebrate a little and then you can talk.
Mr. Speaker.
If you are obedient, watching me right now, how do you feel? Like, I don't know if some of you have possibly forgotten what happened in 2023 or the road to 2023. How do you feel? Because I know some of you are using what is called a cope. After a lot of disappointments you have experienced after the old charade thing last year. And it is so difficult for some of you to admit that you were used or you allowed yourselves to be used by a system that is so rigged against you that the only cope you have right now is to say, Obi, Peter Obi is my leader. It's the only Peter Obi that I am following. You want to change Nigeria with Peter Obi? Peter Obi. And then you have rogues, mules that are pretty much in love with the rot and the rotting system. But they can easily use you and your emotion, which they are going to do again. Oh, they're going to do it again. But some of you are already preparing yourselves to be used again. Let me tell you something, in case if you don't know. By 2025, Atifku, Peter Obi, and some others, they're going to launch their own new political party. It's not going to be Labour Party. It's not going to be PDP. Forget about that. They are going to launch a new political party next year. And that new political party is going to be populated by the same rogues that you know. But since Obi will be part of it, you, the obedient, you are ready to be used. And they will use you again. And that might be a little bit kind of like blunt, yeah? But it is. They will use you again. I'm not saying that you shouldn't make yourselves available to be used and used and used to advance the cause of these guys. But the only way you will know that you likely will get something out of it is if the likes of that same Atifku and Obi, before they launch any political party, actually now, to show to you that they are different in general, whatever they have in mind is so different from what these guys represent, then they should be able to mobilize the millions of you right now to push for not just a electoral reform. They will push for constitutional reform, a new constitution, electoral reform, a new electoral rules, judicial reform, a new set of judiciary. But if they jump these three to go and launch another political party, right? Just know that from foundation to its completion, Tifnumbu and his gang, there will be stakeholders there. And this is how it's going to be. Any new political party this guy launches, you will see Tifnumbu controls at least 40% of it, the stake. The rest can be shared between Obi and Atifku. But for you, the obedient, you probably will be willing and ready. As long as Obi is there, maybe to make you feel better as well, they probably will say make Obi be the presidential candidate. I mean, they can do that. I don't know if Atifku will play along, but yeah. I mean, that is when you can say, okay, if you want to use us, we self go use our head. I do not have control over what will happen, but I do have an idea where it is going to end. You're all validating this madness by participating in what is not rule-based game, a rigged game. And so many of them will use you. Yeah, you get some new guys. We are obedient. We are loyal to Obi. Nobody is loyal to anybody, man. Nobody is loyal to himself. You are just being used. And you get so carried away that a lot of you are not really using your, you're not using your heads. That's why they are using it for you. When you see people who have been so invested in a rigged, rotten system, and you choose to ignore them. As long as they supported Obi, let's forget about all their, let's ignore all of their shadiness. It doesn't matter. We want to rescue, we need the good, the bad, the ugly. Really? So that's how you set yourselves up to be used and reused by these rogues. Many of them are still going to cross. It is so sad. People rejected PDP. They rejected APC, for goodness sake. They rejected their money from PDP, APC to queue around, despite all the threats, the attacks, only for the beneficiary of that to go back to APC, be PDP. Like that is one of the highest betrayal of anything, right? It is next level betrayal, man. Let's even kind of like say, okay, just their way and normal way, but any human being that is acting or that acted like that, they are like worthless people. It's not politics. Somebody will say it's politics. If Tinubu is actually like fixing Nigeria right now, you can say, well, like, sure you get. But look at Nigeria. If APC is doing something that is changing Nigeria for the better, improved economy, employment, stable electricity, improved security, reduced corruption, children back to school, all this stuff, right? You can say, well, they are fair enough, is getting better. What do you expect? Nigeria is now in the worst place ever. Nigerians are in the worst place ever. So somebody will now come and say he wants to join them to make Nigeria. What the hell? There's no betrayal. There's no betrayal bigger than that. That's some massive betrayal, man. See, people died, though. Some people are still carrying the wound. Yeah, the mark. The scar. From them rejecting PDP, APC. A woman was burnt in Kogi because they wouldn't accept APC. People were killed only for the beneficiaries to, come on, man. That's next level betrayal, man. It's like, oof, worthless people. Because they know that there's not going to be any election in 2027. They're going to write it. You better jump on board now. Ogbeni, there's no election 2027. Better join APC now so that they go write your own results. So you want to come back here? So I want to come. Labour Party cannot help you. Obedient. This what happened in 2023 will never happen again. No. We'll never let them try. It's like happen. No. You want to come back? Yes, I want to come back. Forget about this social media obedient. Forget about them. We'll write the results. We need to know all of you are on the side of the president, okay, so that we can put your name down. Are you ready? Yes, sir, I'm ready, sir. Ready, sir. I'll tell the speaker about you. I'll tell the Senate president that you are ready. So, you understand? Yes, sir. I understand, sir. That is the state of Nigeria. Here is a guy who was Atifu's spokesperson. Atifu actually put him on. Imagine that, like, while some of you were waiting for Atifu's 10,000, 20,000 naira, screaming at the top of your voices or your lungs online for Atifu, for those ones who collected money. Not everybody actually got the chance of collecting money. For Atifu, online, Ulaba Dani was being paid 1.5 million naira every month. He was specifically hired like a consultant, spokesperson for Atifu in 2023. Atifu gave him a car, an SUV, a bulletproof SUV. Toyota Prado Abin Kokon, over 50 million naira car, right? Was given to this guy by Atifu. Immediately after the tribunal ruling, he started singing the praises of Atifu. Today is Tinubu's spokesperson, Ulaba. Now he has something to say. 2027, wait for you.
Mr. President, that Mr. President thinks well of the country and wants Nigeria to come out of the doldrum. We have seen marked success and gains in the reform agenda. We have seen the foreign reserve, the president has been paying debt, we have the local government autonomy, the tax law is there, the increase in the GDP, the employment, the unemployment level coming down. Our worst days are behind us, and that tells us that this reform agenda is for the good of Nigeria. So it's exciting to be privileged to serve Mr. President and serve Nigeria in the capacity of his spokesman on policy communications. Part of what we have been doing, taking our time and engaging with Nigerians and talking to them about the policy of the president. We have applied unconventional approach where we take the presidency to the people to where they are. Last week we had engagement with young Nigerians in a coffee hangout. We have plans to be in the park, talk to union workers, road union workers. We'll be in the marketplace and talk to market people, and then talk to them about the policy and the plan of the president, and then speak to them in the language of their occupation. So when you go to the market, you speak to them and speak to the prices of items and the progress that's been made as a result of that policy. That is our approach, and we thank God and thank Mr. President for that privilege and opportunity. Mr. President is focused on governance, delivering on the mandate that he promised to the Nigerian people, and has refused to be distracted by political talk ahead of 2027, because he is very focused on the issues that border on the Nigerian people, to make sure that people come out of hunger, to make sure that agriculture will bring about a revolution, to make sure that our people are able to deal with their everyday problems and have progress in their everyday life. And so the time for politicking is not yet ready. When that time comes, we are going to be ready for everyone. What I can tell you for sure is that Mr. President's agenda, which is working well, is what will naturally endear the Nigerian people to voting for another term. And Mr. President is more than anything else eminently and constitutionally qualified to run for second term. And God willing, I give him Mr. President life and health. We do hope that Mr. President will run his course as provided. I'm aware that Nigerians are suffering. It's more than, if there is any word like that, more than aware. If you have been following the trajectory of his administration and his engagement with Nigerians, you must have been familiar with this cliche that I want Nigerians to be patient. I've asked for the job. The buck stopped at my desk. We are committed to ensuring that the Nigerian people come out of the problem. And the proof that the president is aware is the kind of, is seen in his emphasis and focus on agriculture. Recently, he attended the G20 summit, and the conversation this year is global governance reform. And the global governance reform is anchored on two things. One is dealing with hunger, poverty. The second one is climate change. If you have noticed, even before the G20 meeting, the president over the last 1 year has been emphasizing on these two elements. If you can see the provision of fertilizers and seedlings to agriculture, people in the agricultural sector, you can see that he recently created Ministry of Livestock to tell you that his emphasis is dealing with the critical things affecting the agenda. So he's very much aware, but more than just being aware, the president is working to ensure that we deal with the problems confronting Nigerian people, especially hunger. And sometimes back we had the food inflation going on because of certain factors that can be explained, like the insecurity in the northwest affected farmers. If you go to the northeast, the flood that happened recently also affected the crops, the food crops of the people. Some of this can be explained, but we're coming out of it, because if you look at the indices of the Nigerian Bureau of their statistics, you will see that even food inflation, we are making much progress in that regard. Hopefully by the time the rainy season hits in, we're going to see the problem of hunger and food supply or inflation behind us. With respect to the second one, I actually haven't thought about that, because I have not been in touch with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, but it is not necessary at the moment. It's somebody I respect as an elder statesman, and somebody that I served, when I was serving, as a spokesman for the campaign. So I don't have anything against him, but of course you know that I am busy at the moment, serving Mr. President, so I haven't been in touch with him. But I don't think we have events in Ghana. You would have noticed, if you look at it from comparative analysis, you will see that not
Now Mugu they fight for Nigeria, or fraudsters who want to kind of leverage on your gullibilities. You see anybody saying they are fighting for Nigeria or Nigerians,